March, the month of taking action and starting to realize goals and dreams. In the ancient pagan cultures of Middle Europe, it already had these meanings, which were highly influenced by seasonal processes in nature. Also today, there are ancient pagan and Christian traditions that still live on in rural Germany and Alpine Bavaria. I'm Alina and you're on my YouTube channel, The Art of Nature Germany. In my videos, I show you our simple life in rural Alpine Germany, talk about Bavarian traditions, paganism and sustainability, and take you on adventures into the mountains. If that sounds great, feel free to subscribe and join our friends group here. The name of the month March is coming from the Roman god of war, Mars. Mars is also the Roman god after which the planet is called. So that's the origin of the name. It probably originates from that because in ancient Roman times there were military parades and troop inspections held during this time of the year on the Campus Martius. I had to read this. But Mars wasn't only the god of war, fortunately. He also was the god of fertility for the soil. The power and assertiveness of the god enables you to realize everything you have planned for the year in winter. As we already discussed, January is the month of planning, February is the month of purification, and March is actually now the month of taking everything you manifested into practice. So you made space for new things in February, and now is the time to include these new things into your life and to take the first steps. This is again really connected with nature and ancient agriculture. Like the ancient farmers put their seeds into the soil in March. That was the task that was performed during this time. And also nature was blooming again, or is blooming again. And the new leaves unfold during this time. And as the leaves and the seeds are starting to grow, we start with our manifestation and with our actions we want to take for the year. You see how everything is connected with natural energies. They affect how we feel and what we do. And also these traditions I'm going to talk about are coming from the natural energies. The people were inspired by that, and so they performed certain rituals and traditions. And therefore, I do this series so we can understand it better and we can consciously perform the tasks we are doing anyways during this time, but now with more consciousness. March was actually also the month of new beginnings. In ancient Rome, the Roman New Year started in March. So they would clear the holy fire and light it new and stronger again in March. That was the sign that a new year began. Also, spring is a new beginning, kind of. And as in this region, also in the ancient Roman regions, March was the beginning of spring. It was logical to start the year during that time. Regarding to the Germanic, pagan, Christian and today's German traditions, there is one important feast in March, and that is the equinox, which is in most years on the 20th of March, in some years also on the 21th or the 19th, I think. But this year it's also on the 20th. It's the day where the duration of the day and the night are equal on the whole planet. That is kind of special. And in Europe it's also the beginning of the lighter half of the year. So the day will be longer than the night again. for the next half year. And the equinox symbolizes actually harmony because of the equalness of day and night duration. Ostara was the Germanic pagan feast on and around the equinox. And yes, you're right, Easter originates from that. So let me explain that to you. Ostara was the goddess of the dawn, the morning light and the aurora, and also of fertility in Germanic paganism. So as the light comes back on the equinox and kind of wins over the darkness, it is logical that they celebrated the feast of the dawn goddess on this day. And also fertility plays a role in March, because as we discussed, the plants are growing again. We also had this aspect already with the Roman god Mars, as he also stands for fertility partially. So as the farmers bring their seeds into the soil in March, it was of course a perfect time to celebrate the feast of this goddess. And well, also symbols for this feast and for these days were the Easter bunny, or bunnies in general, and rabbits, and also eggs. So rabbits because they are symbols for fertility. Maybe because they have their mating during this time around the equinox and they are very present during this time. It's actually also today like this. When you go to the moor area around our village, you will see a lot of rabbits during this time. Yeah, they are very active. They have their mating season and well, you will not see them for sure because they are very shy and careful, I would say, but yeah, when you're lucky, you will see them during this time. And the eggs are also fertility symbols because obviously there is a new life coming out of them. So yeah, they stand for fertility. And already in pagan times, they were colored like the Easter eggs today, and the people would put them into the soil. Like they would bury them, and whoever would find them, so it was a little game for adults during this time actually, whoever would find them would be blessed with huge, or with many children, not huge children, but with many children for the coming year. So this tradition with the egg hunt is also alive today in Germany, also here in Bavaria. But it's a little bit different. So we won't bury the eggs, we just hide them somewhere in the garden or in the house. And it's also not a game for adults, it's for children today. So that they have fun with it, searching the eggs, but not so much aligned to children blessing for the coming year. So that's not part of it anymore. But it's still alive, and I think that's wonderful. So the Christian Easter is not celebrated on the equinox, as you maybe know. It is celebrated on the first Sunday after the first full moon, after beginning of spring. That's the rule for that, if you ever wondered, because it's not on the same day every year. But it follows this rule, and well, so it's most of the years not in March, actually it's more in April. Sometimes it can be in March, but mostly in April. So it's more a tradition for April, but Ostara is the pagan origin, kind of, partially, and well, it's in March. I will include Easter for this video now. So you see, Easter, Ostara, or it's even more clear in German actually, Ostern, Ostara. It's very similar. So at least the German Ostern comes from Ostara, the word. So actually Easter is celebrated near Ostara, or the equinox, because the returning light, or the winning of the light over the darkness, was seen as a symbol for the resurrection of Jesus Christ, like he won over death and the light wins over the darkness. So the symbols of Ostara, like the bunnies and the eggs, were taken into the Christian religion. So if you have ever wondered what an egg and a bunny has to do with the resurrection of Jesus Christ, that's why. They were just overtaken into the belief. And another symbol was included, the Easter lamb. Like as Jesus was slaughtered like a lamb. It's in Germany actually the tradition to bake a lamb-shaped cake for Easter morning. I have shown you that and the hunt for the eggs already in my last year's Easter vlog, so you can check it out as we celebrate it. Actually, it's, well, if you're interested in these traditions, it will be interesting for you, so I link it somewhere up here and you can check it out after the video. So in Germany, it's the Christian tradition to bring the Easter eggs and the Easter lamb cake to church and let them get blessed by the priest on Easter morning, and afterwards you would bring them home and enjoy an Easter breakfast with them, with your family. It's wonderful, and you can also see it in this Easter vlog I did last year. In a video about the spiritual meanings and feasts of February, I talked about Fasching, if you remember. From Fasching to Easter, there is the time of fasting in Christian traditions for Germany. That is because, according to the Bible, Jesus Christ was fasting for 40 days in the desert. So we kind of do the same during the time of fasting. Back in the days, the time of fasting was very, very strict. And it was a strict time of not eating any meat. A small part of this video clip got somehow lost, so I will tell you the missing information through voiceover. Fasting time was very strict in medieval ages, so monks invented all kinds of things to cope with the hunger and the strict rules, like special, very strong beer. They brewed it to have something nourishing and filling. And I think also something mood-lifting. The strong beer has a lot of alcohol. I tried it once at a traditional Bock fest that are usually in spring, and well, it was the first and the last time for me. They also invented something else to cheat. The Swabian Maultaschen, schwäbische Maultaschen. These are little pastries filled with meat, traditionally. You can also make them vegetarian or vegan, as we do today, but, well, they are originally filled with meat. And the monks maybe thought if we don't see the meat, it's not there and God will not see it, so it's okay. I don't know. But they invented it for the feasting time to cheat. Or for the fasting time, not the feasting time. The church also invented a strange rule to cheat in medieval ages. They said that beavers are fish because of their flat tail, and so they can be eaten during the fasting time. Technically they are not fish and they are meat, but well, fish was allowed, so they said okay, beavers are okay, they are fish. So you see, they had very funny ideas to bypass those strict rules. And well, I'm not mad at it. We have Maultaschen now, and maybe some people that are enjoying the strong beer, they have that now, so it's great after all. So now that we talked about the origin of the name of March and also the Bavarian German traditions, we can discuss the natural spiritual tasks for March. I hope you were successfully cleaning, organizing and making space for new things in February, because now in March it's the time to take action. So go look at your New Year goals. you have written down in January or put on your vision board, and take the first steps to make them reality. The time of action begins now with the fresh spring energy we have in March, and not how modern society tells us in the beginning of January right away. No, we are smart and use the natural energies to get what we want. Because now they benefit us. Now we are fit, we have this spring energy boost, and we are not in this dark time of January where we should more reflect and plan, you know? That's the case. So now is the time to take action. And most importantly, remember, everything takes time. Nothing happens right away. Like the seeds the farmers put into the soil during this time, they need time to grow and unfold and be a plant. Actually, they need a lot of time. Also, the plants outside, they need a lot of time to grow these leaves and flowers. So it will not happen after you take the first little steps. It takes time. So take step by step. Be patient and have fun after all. That's the most important thing. Because as we say in German, der Weg ist das Ziel. I hope you had fun with this video, guys, and found it interesting. Well, check the videos I told you about. I'm also gonna link them in the end card.